Okay, I'm here with two of the top bullfighters here, and they're very good at what they do, everything they do. Some's a little odd, but they have a good time doing it. If we can get him to stop picking his nose, we can get him to tell us his full name.
Good job, Matt.
Walk it off, Bubba.
Mr. Chuckie, what is your full name, sir?
Charles Daniel Swisher.
Okay, and who's your buddy here?
This is Nathan Deano Harp.
It's Dean.
Dino?
No, Deano.
Deano.
It's just Dean.
Dino?
It's Dean. No.
Dino and Chuckie?
Deano and Chuckie.
Is that Chuckie the Clown and Dino?
Deano.
Okay.
Good job, Braden.
Mean Dean. So much.
Mean Dean. He's pretty mean.
I got a nasty
Dean is
choke
mean?
slam on me.
Okay.
Ain't that the truth?
So what are y'all the best at?
I like to quilt. I'm a pretty good quilter.
You like to quilt?
Yeah.
Cool.
These hands, they're made for bullfighting, but also quilting.
Tough but gentle.
Tough, but gentle.
Chuckie, other than picking your nose, what are you good at?
Picking his ears.
I'm pretty good at, well, you know.
Well, Dino, what's Chuckie good at?
Tell him the best part.
He has no brother.
He has no brother.
Chuck is, well, let's just say that he's not potty trained yet. He's really good at that. If you sleep with him, you're gonna know that you're gonna wake up in a wet bed. Especially if he's had any water, Gatorade, etc. before bed.
Or UFC. There was a time we shared a bed together in southern Texas, I believe.
Yes.
And I just so happened to watch a little UFC cage fighting the previous night while we were in bed. I think I fell asleep watching it. Woke up and I was still watching it, but it was real life. I was beating on Nathan, I think.
It didn't feel good.
Dreaming about it, dreaming about fighting, and I woke up and I was actually fighting Nathan while we were both still asleep.
Was there a wet bed afterwards?
Yeah, there's blood everywhere. It's crazy. Bunk beds were a bad idea.
Chuck, though, he has many, many talents. One of his,
I'm pretty well rounded in every area possible.
he's really good at ping pong, which some people wouldn't think that Chuck, like, he doesn't look like he'd be any good, but he can play some mean ping pong.
Even left-handed, I'm pretty good left-handed too.
That's when he's at his best.
He's got a good backstroke in the left hand. Nathan here, on the other hand, he's not everybody knows it, but Nathan's a terrible swimmer. We went swimming one time down the river and we both jump in. I swim to the edge and I see Nathan about a mile down, yelling, trying to doggy paddle back upstream. Just a terrible swimmer. So I had to swim and rescue him, which is another talent I have that I'm well rounded at is swimming.
All I had was a dog teach me how to swim when I was young, and that's all he taught me was doggy paddle. He didn't know the backstroke or the butterfly or any of those other new things that they came up with. Just doggy
Just the
paddle.
doggy paddle. At least you knew the doggy paddle. They could keep your head above water.
Yeah. Give you enough time to come save me.
Does it require barking?
I leave that out.
He was barking orders.
When I
But no, we're just out living life. I'm 22 years old. Deano here is 23 years old. We like to go and explore things. We've been on many expeditions together. Went to southern Texas one time for vacation for 4 days. Went to Florida for vacation for 4 or 5 days.
You saved the world twice.
That's a story in itself.
Well, I have to say that for a long time, though.
Well, let's just go ahead and tell them now.
You start.
All right. Well, a story about Nathan and I saving the world the first time. It's just short and sweet. Like, had some bad guys come say, "You do this, or we're gonna blow the world up," and we did it and saved the world.
Sounds a lot like Die Hard.
Yeah,
But it wasn't. It wasn't Die Hard. Not 1, 2, 3,
Hey.
or Die
should be
hard
doing
or
that.
go home, whatever the last 4 or 5 were.
But the second story is pretty good. We happened to be driving. Where were we going? Like Nebraska?
I think so.
Yeah,
in
we're-
our van.
Yeah, had the old shaggin' wagon headed towards Nebraska,
And yes, we do live down by a van. Wait, van.
we live in a van down by the river.
We live by that van.
Yeah, we live by the van that's down by the river.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're in a van headed to Nebraska, and it was probably like about this time, 2 or 3 in the afternoon. The sun was out and it was warm and everything. We kind of ended up having some car troubles, and there's a spot in Nebraska where you're 50 miles from either gas station, and that's where we just happen to have car trouble. And just so happens to be Nebraska is so amazing with cell phone service. We didn't have any cell phone service either, so we're like, well, I kind of sat there and twirled our thumbs for a bit. I was like, Nathan, this sun's just gonna melt it out of us. We got to get out. We're gonna have to walk back to town, and do something. And he's like, well, Chuck, there's these pastures that go across town, and we could see this big water tower, probably, what was it, 10, 15 miles down the road?
I think it's
Or
20.
20 miles
Yeah,
across the
ways down
pastures. Or we could take this highway that was a sure shot, but it was 50 miles. So it was like, Nathan, let's just chance it. We'll take this pasture down to this big water tower. So we get to hiking, and it's up and down hills there in Nebraska. They got, what is it, Rocky Mountains that go through Nebraska?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Whatever
But,
John Denver sings about.
yeah, John Denver's full of crap. But we're just tootling along through there, just sun beating down on us. Every now and then
Kind of
we'd
like
catch
this right now.
Yeah, we'd catch a shade tree and we'd bunk up for a bit. Just strolling, probably got, what do you think, like 7, 8 miles?
But it was probably almost 10. Like, we was halfway.
Yeah,
Thought about turning around, but we didn't. We just kind of pushed through.
about 10 miles come, and there's a old man just sitting out in the middle of this pasture, and let me tell you, like, it was just, this pasture wasn't like a bunch of little just sections. It was one huge pasture out there. Just one guy owned it, I guess, or something, or the state owned it. And gosh, that kid is tough. But anyways,
He does like that.
But we were just strolling through this pasture. This guy had probably 15 sections there. And we just stroll up on this old man. What's he sitting in? Like this old,
Like a pink chair, just like that.
yeah, it's a weird kind of shaped chair type deal. He's just sitting out there. It kind of startled because we were thinking, shoot, how far were we from everybody? Like 10 miles from anything.
Where we started, which was 50 miles in any direction.
Yeah. And then there's no roads or nothing, no tracks or like just little dirt roads or no cow tracks or anything. And we just stumbled across this guy that was sitting in his chair out in the middle of nowhere, really. And we were like, kind of looked at each other and like, what the heck is happening here, And that old man, kind of like, we walked up to him and he was startled too, like really didn't even see anybody, and kind of went up and shook his hand. His name was Jim Daughtry. Is that his name, Jim?
Yeah.
Jim Daughtry. And we walk up to Jim. Hey Jim, Chuck, Swisher, Nathan, Harp, and met him. Kind of got to be good buddies with him. We sat there and talked for a little bit. Told him we're having car troubles. Nathan brought up. He said, Jim, why are you out here? How did you get here? You're an older man, no offense, but we figured like the older man like you would just be sitting in the porch swing there on the couch.
Out in the middle of a pasture by yourself.
Porch swing on the couch. Porch swing on the porch, my bad. But yeah, not out in the middle of the pasture,
Oh, you're cool.
See, tell him why Jim was out there.
What Jim told us was that this little section where we was at,
It wasn't a small section. It was pretty good size.
the only part on the United States that was going to be left after he blew it up. He had bombs placed in every state. He wouldn't tell us where, but he said in every state. where he was gonna detonate it, and
Yeah, he had like a
nothing left.
5x5 perfect radius square, and he was sitting right in the middle of it. After he explained it all to us. But go ahead.
It's tough to talk about, really. But
Okay,
Yeah,
we have
so-
moved locations here
Sorry for the pause
with
and the action.
Swisher and Deano. And we just got through with some baptisms here, but we are out in the field here and we're going to finish our story. So continue, part 2.
Well, like we said, found the old man out in the pasture, and he was in this 5x5 square, just sitting there. He how did he say it?
he said, if y'all don't sing the best song in the world, I'm gonna blow up the whole world.
And we
And
looked
we
at each
said-
other. We said, okay.
At the same time.
Yeah, at the same time.
At the same time we said that. And then we start playing the first thing that came to our head.
And it just so happened to be
The best song in the
the
world.
greatest song in the world.
The best song in the world. Look into my eyes and it's easy to see.
1 and 1 makes 2, and 2 and 1 makes 3. It's destiny. Destiny. But yeah, that's about time to head home from the camp. It's been a
Yep.
good week, and well, we'll see you down the road, Nathan. Yes, sir. See you, bud.
Alrighty. Bye.
Well, bye.